Alright, so I am just in the middle of boiling 1 cup of water in a very large pot. So the recipe wants you to use a bigger pot if you're going to do it all in one vessel, which is what I kind of prefer to do. And so as soon as it starts boiling, I'm going to add baking soda to it. And from what the recipe says, that's the fun part. Okay, so you got your water at a full boil, and then in goes your baking soda.
It's the fun part.
It's fun. And at that point, we're going to let it stand for 5 minutes. So it looks like absolutely nothing's going on at this point. While all that was going on, or before all that, I went ahead and I did flour, I buttered and floured my pans. So I'm using 2 9x9 pans to actually bake this in. And the next step is going to be to add butter into that mixture of baking soda and water. So when you add baking soda to water, it makes the water, I believe, alkaline overall. So it's similar to when you're making pretzels or something like that. It will change the overall flavor at the end of your recipe. So we'll see how that, we'll see how that goes. I already know that it goes well because I've done this recipe a few times. And but yeah, so once that's done, we'll be adding some butter to it. So we'll be back with butter. Alright, so it's been 5 minutes. I am going to go grab butter. Here's the butter. Alright, so the butter is almost done melting. I just added it in, and I completely did not hit record after I put the butter in. So you guys missed my butter song of stir in the butter into the water, stir in the butter till it's melted away. It kind of went longer than that, but now that this butter's melted, I have to stop singing about it. And I have to start adding stuff to it. So we're going to add brown sugars. Right in there. And I go all the way over here to the other end of the counter. And we're going to grab molasses. And then there that goes in. Wow. Now, usually I would have sprayed this down with a cooking spray or something, but we didn't have cooking spray. So please hold on a moment while I clean this out. Like I was saying, I would usually go ahead and have used a cooking spray in my cup. Add ginger. So that's a little bit more than a tablespoon of freshly grated ginger in there. That's quite a lot more than a tablespoon. We like ginger in this house. And now I need my whisk. Yeah, so if you put some cooking spray in your molasses cup before you start doing anything with it, it will have good results. The molasses will actually come out of the cup very nicely. So all you're going to do is just whisk this all together. So whisking molasses, ginger, and butter all together. Whisking molasses, whisking the ginger, whisking the butter and the brown sugar. Put it in water, go whisk it. We're making gingerbread snack and cake. Whisking the butter with water, and putting some sugar Into that concoction, the sugar's molasses, the sugar's brown sugar, and don't forget ginger, 'cause ginger is king. So once this is all nice and combined, we're actually going to let this sit for some time, so it will become lukewarm. So we're going to let this sit for 10 to 15 minutes. So right now, it's a little too hot to add eggs and stuff to. It's a perfect opportunity to think about life. Oh, and not make a mess. We'll be back. So, hot tip on this side of the kitchen. While that's doing its cooling down, I have a little bit of oat milk. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to add this. So I have that leftover molasses. I'm going to make, I'm going to do like around a cupish. There we go. And put a cup of the oat milk in it. And I'm going to stir this around. And I'm going to bring it all together as best I can. And I'm going to make a molasses milk. So it'll be a sweetened milk, if this will actually combine. And it will also clean the molasses off of your little cup here. So just go ahead and stir that all together. I'm being gentle with it because I put maybe a little too much. You'll see it change color from the white to a more brown color, like a latte brown. And eventually, you'll spill it all over your counter. You'll end up with something like that. So you can just put that in a cup and drink it if you so desire. Or you can just drink it right from those. Yeah, just tastes like sweetened milk. So, yeah, again, it's a way to use up. You have molasses in here that you spent money for. Might as well drink it or get some use of it. This would be nice to, as a drip. This might be nice to add to tea or something like that. And honestly, because, waste not, want not, right? So if you don't have an oil to make sure that you're getting all of your molasses out of your cup, or most of it, go ahead and just make a little bit of molasses milk, and you can get all of it out and enjoy the rich taste of molasses in your milk. And you can sing potatoes and molasses. You know the song. All right. So anyways, we'll join back in with what's going on the other side of the kitchen in just a moment. We got about maybe five more minutes or so left before that's cool enough to start adding eggs and good stuff in. All right, so the mixture has cooled quite a bit. And so we're going to take lightly beaten egg, add to mixture, floop, and then we're going to whisk the lightly beaten egg into said mixture. Whiskey, whiskey, whiskey. And honestly, right now it just looks like I'm whisking the darkness. So there's such a very deep, dark amber color from the molasses and the brown sugar. Which brown sugar is just white sugar with molasses in it. So it's like double molasses time.
Yum.
And all that's nice and combined. And now we're going to fling mixture all over the stovetop. And I'm going to grab a strainer and start adding our dry ingredients. All right, so we've got our flour, our mixture of spices, and baking powder. Both of these are going to go into a mesh strainer set over our mixture. I am going to be brilliant, and I am not going to actually attempt to put everything in the strainer. Oh, well, sieve, I mean. I won't put everything in the fine mesh sieve while also trying to film it myself, because I feel like that is a recipe for doom. So, yeah, I'm going to just put that stuff into the sieve, and then we'll be back as I start sifting it. All right, so all you're going to do is put all your stuff into your sieve and sift it in. So just let it all slowly snow down on the mixture below. Just like that. So you might find it easier to tap it, or mash it, but you want to just work it through so that you get this stuff all sifting down into the mixture below. So this is a combination of allspice, ginger, salt, nutmeg, and cloves. And if you have any big bits left over, don't worry about it, because you don't want to use them. That's why we're sifting them. Huh?
I always smush them.
Well, this is a literal piece of plastic.
Oh, you don't want that.
So
plastic!
So, but yeah, so smush them through, I guess.
Yeah.
And we'll just take our mixing utensil and mix it all together. Just like so. So eventually the flour will all work into the mixture, and we'll have a lovely batter for our gingerbread snacking cake.
Making noises of yumminess.
So just scrape down the sides, make sure you get everything. And then they all should be together. I think that's all good. I don't think it's going to get smoother than that. And then we'll transfer it to the pan. Half and half. Let us pour this out into our two prepared pans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll put some in that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. One, 2, 3, 4, maybe just a little more. And just try to portion it out as evenly as you can, which I think is probably the hardest thing for many recipes when you're trying to split between multiple pans, is to actually have an equal amount in each pan. I suppose I could put it in separate containers beforehand, measure out how much I have, and then do all that equally, but then that would be yet another dish to wash. And who wants another dish to wash? Not me.
Too bad Giacomo's not here and he can't help it.
The two guys are out doing some holiday things that they insist are secret.
I don't know why, that just struck me as very funny.
I need to take Giacomo shopping for some new clothes. I don't know if you noticed, he had a new shirt in his video yesterday, and it's set off a desire for more new clothes. And then of course Gus is like,
I'm naked.
Still in need of clothes.
I don't have any shirts. He has two. That's not fair. Not that that's Gus's voice, but yeah.
Robin's gonna hate this. Good luck. You know, it's like,
Oop.
How do you not eat the cookie batter? How do you not eat the cake batter?
Sorry about the shaky camera. My hands are...
Alright. So we're going to just go ahead and make sure this is evenly spread out. I have cake batter in my moustache. And make sure it all gets into the corners.
You heard me in your head, didn't you?
The old tappa tappa.
Bingo! I just thought, do the old tappa tappa. Thank you, Chef John.
Letting the gingerbread slide into the corners of my pan. As I think about gingerbread sliding the corners of my pan. Okay, so we got two pans completely full of gingerbread batter. And it goes 350 of the degrees until it's cooked. And when will that be? When it's done. Check it multiple times. But don't keep opening the oven. So according to the recipe, we got 30 to 35 minutes until a toothpick inserted in the center of the cake comes out clean. So 30 minutes. And then we'll check it. I'm going to do 15, and then I'm going to spin the pans around. And we'll be back when it's completely done. I'll shut this gross light off. Do I look better or just backlit?
Very
right.
very backlit.
Very backlit. That's okay. So it's been 15 minutes one side, turned everything around, and gave it another 10 minutes. And so doing the cake testing. This toothpick in it. If it comes out clean, the cake is done. And it has come out clean. And just did the same thing with the other one. Just stick it in, pull it out, nothing on there, you're good. And just going to let them cool off on a wire rack until they are completely cool. So once it's cooled and removed from the pan, we cut it into smaller pieces and kept it inside of a Ziploc bag or airtight container with some paper towel, wrapped in paper towel, so they can kind of keep a little moist. And this is what a piece of it looks like. And so these are usually cut kind of small, about an inch or so, inch by inch, but we're going to do them just a little bigger for, you know, we like a little bit of excess because it's the holidays. So in the knife goes. Slice through the cake. And there you have it. So the gingerbread snacking cake, all nice and cooked through, ready to go and get put on a plate. And then all we'll do is we'll take a, oh, there it is. So what we'll do is we'll take a little bit of Cool Whip. That's enough for me. Right on top. You can also use powdered sugar if you prefer. And and if you really want to go ham, you can do powdered sugar and Cool Whip, or you could cut a piece of cake in half and put Cool Whip between the two halves, or you can take two giant pieces of cake and sandwich a Cool Whip between them. That looks good. That's good. Thank you, Saz. After having done all the cooking and everything like that, it's time to actually enjoy the fruits of my labor, the delicious gingerbread snacking cake. I'm probably only going to have one or two pieces of this, honestly, just because I am on a very specific sort of diet. I hesitate to even say diet. It's just a different way of eating. I'm trying not to be Mr. eating sugar all the time and candies and desserts and all that, which is tough in the holiday season because all the fun stuff is full of sugar and all of that. Anyways, what? No, it's fine. So anyways, I'm going to enjoy my gingerbread snacking cake. I feel like Saz wants to take a picture of the whole thing as a nice, what do you call it? I'm saying diorama or pastiche. These are the things that are coming into my mind. But I just want to take a nice picture of everything.
Layout.
And I'll share that at the end. And I will tell you that this cake is utterly delicious. And I had a little snack of it earlier yesterday. And it goes perfectly with tea, coffee, and anything else. So if you would like to see more recipes and things like that, don't forget to mention in the comments. And also, as usual, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, carry on the conversation down in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.